So I put on my social media, about 45,000 people to follow. So I said, I'm looking for a person that lives in the New York, New Jersey area to pick me up at the Schomburg Library on Friday at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Join me in the library and then take me to Prince George's County Friday night. Give 4 or 5 hours trip. It's going to take about, that many hours. I'll give you $350, basically covering gas, tolls, and overnight if you want to stay overnight. And I'll give you that, and I'll give you 4 hours of mentoring, coaching, and guidance.
Here you go.
That's what I'll do for you. Here's what you must do for me. You have to have a clean car.
A car that's working.
Gas in it. Right. It has to be mechanically safe. You cannot be an insane person. Right? I said, you have to be about something. You have to be a doer. And you have to write me a letter making your case, convincing me some key points, and I'm not going to read a very, very long letter. So I put that out there in the universe, right? 87 people signed up. Several said, hey, I'll pay you. All kinds. So they were short. Most of them were short turds. Oh, absolutely, count me in. But nobody actually followed my instructions. One person followed my instructions. Wrote an incredible, very short, to the point. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's where I am in life. Here's what I'm trying to transition to. I need some help. I need some guidance. Right? I'd be more than happy. Be on time. I'm responsible. And they emailed it to me. So I took a couple of hours to go through all the emails. Some of them were longer, but they were just all of them. That's the person that won. Right? Right? And I actually didn't know what she looked like, right? So I actually won. But
We're gonna keep that off Facebook.
Right.
Keep that off Facebook.
It was
The
a
fact
risk.
that he said no ugly people apply, kind of
Yeah.
that.
No, I didn't say that.
Now, George, she could have jacked you up by the time you got to Maryland.
Right. So I actually, there was a picture of Audrey on Facebook, but it was just an average picture. And so I didn't really know what she looked like. So I really was not quite sure what to look for at the event in the Schomburg. So I'm standing there talking to Kefra Burns. This is Susan Taylor's husband, and some brother over there. And you know how brothers talk, right? Ooh. He said, check to your left. Right? We talk code.
Yeah, code.
Check to the left. But you don't move your head.
No.
See me, I would have moved it.
That's right.
That's how I get busted. That's how I get busted.
Said the holy man.
That's exactly right.
I'm being honest.
So I look over and I said, wow, I had no action. And so I find out it's Audrey. And so I said, wow, you're Audrey. She said, yeah, well, can I have a hug? I said, is anybody looking?
Because my wife is going to
Anybody looking? I said, you didn't have to wear 6-inch heels to tower over me, right? I said, "He's right." So so it began with humor, right? And it went downhill from there. It was great. It was a great conversation. She had a beautiful Beamer, right? That was a surprise. What kind of? It's an SUV Beamer, right? SUV, and she had food in there, and she had drink in there.
Oh, go ahead, George.
Ready.
Wow.
That's
Right?
it.
List of questions, right? List of questions, and so when we pulled away from the Schomburg at 8:30, she was ready, and it was on. So we talked straight. It took us 5 hours. There was some traffic, so it took us a long time. But it was an engaging, interesting, funny, profound, and in many ways, conversation. And so for me, because it was the first time I've ever done this in life, in 72 years, I've never rolled the dice quite like that. I do mentoring, but not quite like in the blind.
Yes.
Right.
That's
That was
big.
in the
That's
blind,
major.
right? But it was different.
That's
and,
major.
And then so I got a lot of emails. You can see them. You can read them on Facebook. People said, I really want to know how this turns out, right?
Yeah.
Many of them want to know how it turned out because they may consider it themselves,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And several people say, well, why don't you just, Dr. Fraser, why don't you just take Uber? And I responded back to them because that doesn't help anyone but me, right?
Uh-huh.
My goal is to try to mentor someone for 4 or 5 hours on a trip that would be convenient for me, and I'm going to stick with that unless something else happens. So now what we're
So
talking
tell him
about,
he comes.
Right.
I'm already at Candace. I'm in bed. He arrives about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I give him my usual greeting. Hey, Negro. Hey, sis, you up? So I said, how did the trip go? So he starts telling me about, first thing he says, her name is Audrey. My middle name is Audrey. I don't call
Right.
her Audrey. So I said, wow, that's interesting. Tells me about the thing. I said, George, there's a book in there. If that woman was smart, she would do a book. 4 hours with George in the car, on the road with George. Are you kidding? How many people had
Good
that?
thinking.
George said, Emma, that's a great idea. And so now maybe Audrey should talk.
No, you don't want to talk.
Walked out. 5 hours with George.
Yeah, you don't want.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, come on.
Oh, seriously, no, I am very blessed and honored to have this opportunity to have Dr. Fraser mentor me for those few hours. It was not something that I was particularly looking for or expecting at the time. I happened to be in Maryland when he's asking for a ride to Maryland. So I was like, geez, I gotta come back the following weekend. But I didn't think long and hard about it. It was like a no-brainer for me because I know a golden opportunity when I see one.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been looking for a mentor and a coach for a little while, off and on, because that's the secret, I think,
Yeah.
to our
That's
success.
it.
Yep.
When people don't tell us their little secrets,
That's
I think
it.
that's one of the secrets.
Put your ego aside.
Exactly.
Have coaches
Ask for help.
That's it.
because I travel.
Right?
I mean, I go to a lot of seminars and workshops and all kinds of events, and people are training me and other people there, and they're saying, "Oh, I have a coach." I'm like, "You have a coach, but you're a coach." Yes, but I have a coach.
Right.
And that's one of the things I wish I had learned a while back coming up. I didn't realize it's helpful. Now I've
Yeah.
experienced quite a bit of success here and there throughout my life. I said I haven't, but I want to reach another plateau.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to another level, and I have these grandiose ideas. Not sure exactly how to go about implementing them and taking the action that I need, and the right people, etc. But I don't have the right support system. So that's another.
Yeah.
So this I can talk for a long time about that. I'll leave that alone. But going back to winning the lottery, because that's what I felt like. I won the lottery, and I actually wrote down on Facebook that I won the lottery. And I said, no, people, not the monetary kind. So don't come for me. Okay? So let's be clear. But no, I was really excited. And Dr. Fraser doesn't really remember this, but we traveled in some of the same circles. Because I've been out there for a minute trying to find, exactly what my place and purpose is in this life. And I've traveled with some of the best of them. And Dr. Fraser has been in those circles with Reverend Jesse Jackson and all kinds of folks that I'm not going to name drop. But so we've traveled, together, and I've seen him quite a bit, and I've always been fascinated by, his brilliance and everything else. Life has a funny way of like going for something.
Yep.
So that's what happened. I didn't really have to do a whole lot. I've been praying on it. I pray and I meditate every day for God to show me the way, show me my real purpose in this life. And where I'm at right now, I just don't want to just be doing any old thing. If I could do any old thing, that's easy. I want to do something that's going to make a difference
Right.
in life. That's where my heart is right now. And I truly believe that's why Dr. Fraser came into my life, because he could probably assist with that, because that's what he does. He's making a difference all day, every day, in everyone's life. So it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was getting ready to go to bed. I just come back from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was feeling a certain type of way because I was listening to drama down in Charlotte. I'm just getting rid of people left and right. Really just bless them and release them. So I had just blessed and released someone down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
We talked for 5 hours.
Read between the lines.
2 of those hours was me asking her, quizzing her about all the levels of relationship she has. Family, tell me about your family. Tell me about your friends. Tell me about your significant other, right? Trying to ascertain, does she have the right support?
Right,
To
exactly.
get her to where she wants. Well, that became really clear that she didn't.
She did not.
Right?
No.
I mean, so we really peeled back the onion on that, and we took a deep dive, got granular with it, got personal with it, right? And found humor in some of it. Some of it was sad. Some of it was just real. Some of it was just real, right? And so I walked her through some of the things we talked about today, and about blessing and releasing and taking an inventory.
That's
What
JR
do you-
over
What do
there.
you want?
So y'all two
Let's put a timeline, right? So, because she's thinking about moving to Los Angeles, right? So one of the big things she might do. Well, okay, if you're thinking about it, when do you think that might happen? And so, a year, 6 months, put a timeline. Once you say, I'm going to do this by December, then you work backwards, right? And begin to all the preparation for that. But at least you have a timeline. If that's what you're really going to do. If you're just BSing yourself, then, right? And we do a lot of that. We all do it, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, I wish, I'm dreaming, you know, whatever. But, right? But it
Sounds good.
Right, I hope, right. And then, then the question is, what is the goal in Los Angeles, right? So you're to move to Los Angeles, I have the grass always looks green on the other side. But what are you going to do different in Los Angeles that you did here that didn't get you where you wanted to go? Well, you're just going to repeat. We're going to sit here a year, 2 or 3 years from now. We're going to have the same story, and you're now in Los Angeles, right? And nothing really changed. So we got to get singular in once you move to Los Angeles. What are the compelling reasons for that, right? How does that add value? How does that move you to, in quote, as you want, the next level? And then what is that thing that you think that will take you to the next level? Let's get clear about that. So we're clear about that. What you need to do to prepare that next thing, so that when she arrives in Los Angeles, of course we have a large network, a very large network of people that you won't come, but you know Barbara Lindsay is there. Barbara Lindsay is like
Barbara,
the West Coast
yeah.
version of Peggy. So that's how that ended up. So we ended up with clarity around destination, clarity around that next thing that will allow her to love, give, serve.
Come on down.
Then the educational things that we spoke.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. How you doing? I'm doing good. Hey, Ed. How you doing? Good to see you. Come on, and the drinks in that container, and there's plenty of food over there. Just help yourself, honey.
About 3 hours until you fall out. And then you can sign a disclosure that you will never repeat anything that was said in the file. That's my offer for 1 hour.
After that, it goes up, right?
Yes, exactly.
Y'all was talking about relationships later. Well, you've been talking about relationships, and you hit on something that's dear to my heart. Talk about marriage. You know how important that is to the foundation of where you're going. Everybody's not married, of course, you know, but I'm talking for myself. Being married for 20 years, I try to position myself with people that's been doing it longer than me because I want mine to succeed. I don't want to play out what I've seen other people in my family. That seemed to be something that followed my family divorce. And I didn't want to partake of that. And I've seen how that can be really detrimental to where you're going. So, you know, I think, like, expound a little bit more on that, because that really touched my heart when you was talking about women not able to do certain things nowadays, but yet the idea is that we're supposed to do this, but you're not.
You know, Peggy came to me and told me I was, after that presentation, that I was put out of Sister for Sister. And I better find a group called Brother for Brother. Yeah, they got me. Ben was starting a group. Franchise women who purport that women should cook. So, between George and I, when my husband died, I was married 43 years.
Wow.
George is married 45 years.
Wow.
So we have 88 years,
Almost 90 years.
almost 90 years
It's a
of
lot.
marriage.
Wow.
So I think there are some common threads that run through it. The first thing is you should pick right if you possibly can. So you would say, well, Emma, what is right? If you never prayed in your life, get holy for that selection. If you don't even believe in God, start believing. Have a spiritual backing when you choose that person. And once you start having a spiritual backing, other forces will send imitations for you to look at that will look like the real one. So you have to be prayed up if you want to stay up married. So that's the first thing. If you pick right when the trouble comes, and believe me, it will. There's no way. But there's a difference between trouble and chaos and mess and dysfunctionality. You didn't pick the right person. So if you're going to be married, understand that it comes with the most complicated intertwining of two people that exist on the planet to cohabitate. And if your intention is to be married forever, I want you to think about what does forever mean. It's a long time. So, but people don't make those kinds of commitments. So if that's what you want, you pray it and you
What you
make
need
sure
to do.
that you take
Oh,
the
you could,
time
yeah.
and you investigate the person.
Yes.
The last thing you want to do is choose your mate from the waist down. Okay?
That plays a role.
Yeah, it plays a role, but that is not.
Yeah, I get it. But that plays a
Okay.
role.
Of course it
Yeah, it plays a role.
role.
Yeah. I
It
want to
wants
make that
to
clear
stay.
now.
Not at all.
It's gonna play a little role in there somewhere. Yeah, no, but that's gonna play a role in there somewhere.
It is
Blessings,
gonna play a
blessings,
role.
blessings. Oh, I feel the anointing. Oh, God. Woo-hoo. Sheba. Oh, shit.
We know that that plays a role.
I had to just put that in
I
there.
didn't hear you. Can you say it again?
Get the oil out now. Come on now.
Yeah, I get you. I'm just
But if
humor.
you get
Yeah.
somebody came
And
up,
that's on both genders.
Yes, right. Tall, dark, and handsome. I was out of it. 16. Right? You see, there you go. No, I'm just
Handsome.
no, but I'm saying she had a criteria. You know, my wife said when she was looking for teeth in line. You know, that was her criteria.
Make sure he had the teeth in his mouth, right?
Every teeth is mine. It was white, and that was and I was working. Those were the criteria that she looked at, and then she did the work. Is he a man after God's heart? Those criteria play, but physical, outward, he plays a
of
role.
course that's important.
Because I know it too. Oh, Lord. I'm going to leave y'all right now. Let me get in my car. Just quickening right here, right now. That's real, though. That's real. Of course
You are
Yes.
you are attracted to a
Yes,
certain
yes,
type.
yes.
That's how.
Yes.
As I was saying,
Right.
John's son was asking me about that in the back of the car. His father
Yes.
didn't know he thought he was questioning me about business. But anyway, so the reality is that if you walk into a room
Yes.
and you're single, you're female,
Mm-hmm.
there's 40 men there, you're going to scan.
Yeah.
But
right.
your eyes will not light on everyone.
That's
It
it.
just isn't gonna happen.
No.
No.
It just there's somebody there
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna catch your eye. What is it?
Yeah.
That brother's good looking. The woman next to you is thinking, that man's ugly.
Yeah.
But you all didn't. But that's her perspective.
Right.
So your eye is gonna light on somebody. So the physical is always the
It's
first.
always yes. Yes.
It may not be the best judge.
Yes.
But you're gonna go for the physical because at least you know at least I'm attracted to what he or she looks like. But then there's the conversation, and
Right.
there's the connection.
Chemistry.
And the questions that everybody needs to be asking today, because the parameters for what makes a good husband and what makes a good wife have changed. And if you get married without understanding the values that each of you hold, you are in trouble. Because if you're looking for this homogenous type of individual that does understand that we eat and we cook and you keep a house neat and it's more than your nails and your weave and your 5-inch heels, and she wants a man that is also worked, that also articulates, who is also spiritual, and you never discuss that, you don't have a chance in hell, because that's where you will be. Because there is being alone, because now I'm widowed 10 years, so I can talk about that. I didn't know anything about that because I was dating my husband since I was 16. So I didn't even know what any of that was. So I got to that point late in life. So I just celebrated my 10th year anniversary. I now know what it is to be single. I never knew what that was.
Right.
I know what it is. I know what it is to be lonely. I know what it is. I don't think I can say it again too young. I know what it is to have unrequited passion and have to watch another television show of Law and Order.
Make another cold shower.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any of that because I was blessed to find my true love at 16. And then he up and died. And the words I stood at the altar at 19 and said, I've shared this with George. We gave the traditional vow. Do you take this man? Do you take this woman? Do you pledge in sickness and in health? And you say, oh yes, Nobody wrote their vows. And then the last one, until death us do part. And you go here because you're 19. You are never gonna die at 19. So of course I take him to death us do part, because none of us are dying. But when he died 43 and a half years later, I knew what that vow meant. I didn't know what it meant until it hit me. I really did not know. So now I've gone the full circle. I was single at the later part of my life rather than at the beginning. So now I understand what young people go through. I would not have understood that before. What happened?
But Emma,
Open up this to everybody.
to me, I think what's important to me is that there be a friendship between me and the other person, that we develop a real, friendship, of trust.
What you want?
Go get it.
Yes, yes.
Monica, is there ginger ale?
Well, friendship is,
And can you give me one more if there's one in there?
but I do want to say this. I'm going to mention
Thank you, dear.
the S word.
The S word for.
Shoes.
I'm over here playing. I'm sorry.
Today's culture is that you can engage physically before you even know the person's last name. If for no other reason, I would encourage you not to go that route, is because you need to know the person first before you give them your body or take theirs. Because scripture says that whoever you are intimate with, you become one with. It's not just in marriage, it's the act itself. How many people do you want your spirit to meld with?
Well, tell them to watch an episode of Fatal Attraction. That'll sober them up.
So don't give it away. Don't be so quick.
That'll sober you up.
Right side?
George, you can talk now because I'm on the verge of being stoned.
No. Tell them to watch. I'm telling you.
That's absolutely true. Like, I think back in the day, it was commonplace, right? I mean, that you were to wait, and that you should wait, and that if you didn't wait, you were, labeled something different. And so I think society as a whole was more grounded in the principle of waiting. Unfortunately, the world we live in today, everything is saturated with sex. in your music, it's on television, it's on the radio, it's in the magazine,
You're being programmed. You're being
everything.
programmed.
And so society has truly changed. And then when you're raising children, it really comes back to the parent and the values that the parent has and the rules that the parent set to instill in the child. And to be able to support that as they grow, because they're in a world where the world tells them different than those very values. And most people, not all, but most people are living differently than those values. So they become ostracized, the outsider, which is a very lonely place, right? No one wants to be the outsider. We all want to fit in. It's something that George says. Everything we do is so somebody would love us. Dr. George C. Frazier, so many things that I've sat at his feet and heard him say that resonates because it's true. And so when you're in this world and you're 13 growing up and the parents is in the church and they're saying, wait and save yourself and this is why, and you turn on the TV, you see something different. You open up a magazine, you see something different.
Right.
You go to your classroom and everybody is saying something different. And you want to hold true to that. It becomes a battle.
Go through the door.
And
then
you
make a
feel like
right.
the outsider.
Okay.
And it's difficult. I mean, well, I'm a single woman. If I'd known then what I know now and the wisdom that I have today, if I'd have known, I would still be married to my ex-husband. But I did not have the wisdom, nor did I have wise counsel. So when George speaks about a support system, I think that is so valuable because I picked the right man, but I was deeply wounded. And when the chaos and the trial came, I didn't have the fortitude to stay the course. And so like most people, when it's painful, we flee, right? It's either fight or flight. And I flee. And it took
That's real.
20 plus years later for me to have to grow up being single, learning it the difficult way to see, wow. But the beauty in that is how God does bring things back full circle. So I would say it's a challenge now. Being single is definitely, because we say, look, that's not how I roll, and I'm just gonna tell you, it ain't that kind of party. And, I'm not judging you.
Right,
you
right.
live your life, and but over here,
Right.
you automatically, and I don't use the word ostracized, but you get this label,
Yeah.
right? And then you walk around believing, because faith is really, for me, what I believe in, my faith that something greater is beyond that. But as you're living it, it's like what you said. I'm a woman and I want to be held, and I know I'm supposed to be loved, right? God said it in His
real.
Word. But it's challenging
That's true.
to find the person to match that in the society we're living in.
And at times the church is not ready to hear that.
Oh.
That's another thing that is a double whammy to a lot of people, because as preachers, we put everything in a box. And it's like when we get saved, our brain get lost. Serious. I mean, we get saved and our brains get lost, like we don't think anymore. But it's real issues happening.
Here's a tip, perhaps an insight on sustaining. It's going to sound a bit trite, but it's the truth. There is something about space, about giving people space, that is very bonding. It's like a human relation cohesive by giving people space. So I say all that to say that somewhere between the 12th and 15th year of your marriage, somebody in that marriage
Oh, okay.